Most of the time, when products are presented for registration, the would-be manufacturers usually present the best specimen of their products to the regulatory authority. You often notice that at the point of registration, the products are okay and genuine, but after certification, you then begin to notice deterioration or poor standard of the product. One way by which NAFDAC as a regulatory authority ensures wholesomeness of registered regulated products is post-marketing surveillance, that's PMS. Post-marketing surveillance is the practice of monitoring the safety of a pharmaceutical drug or medical device, food, and food products such as seasonings, beverages, and canned foods after they had been released to the market. As we always tell you, because a product has a registration number does not mean regulatory work has been concluded on it. NAFDAC still monitors these products to ensure they maintain their registration status. So beyond ensuring that manufacturers keep to the approved standards for their products, post-marketing surveillance is further used to confirm the safety or otherwise of a product after it is used by a large number of people. Sounding a bit technical, I guess. Well, don't worry, let's simplify the discussion for you a bit as we bring on Mr. Tunde and his friends in our drama piece. Stay on this dial.
This is aroma for Mama Yabo's soup. It's so inviting, Hi. Oh, Diego, let me knock on her door. Hi.
Yes, who is that? I am coming now.
Because please, come on quick, because hi.
But what brought you to my house by this hour of the day?
Hey, Mama Yabo, at least you should have asked me to come in first before this your interrogation.
No, I am very busy in the kitchen cooking. Please.
I know you are cooking, and that is the more reason you should allow me in. Yeah, because the aroma of this is soup on a way, it is killing me because
you will die over and over again because this food I am cooking is for my husband, and he will soon be here. And let me tell you one thing, I don't entertain male visitors when my husband is not around.
Okay, because I have heard you. I came to inform you about the village meeting called by us, the Nafoda command.
Egbami, what is it again? What is the meeting about?
I do not know because just to come home, but
what?
No, I was thinking you should have been merciful enough to give me a small apple with the soup you are cooking, because
Chinedu. Hey, well, I have heard the message. You can go now. Oh yeah, malo. Kuron bin tori Ọlọ́run. Kuron bin Chinedu ọmọ iba bi come here one day.
I have heard you, but don't fail to come for the meeting, because
Order! I say order!
Every time you like to do charge.
Wallahi, my man Iyabo is crazy for.
Before uncle, who don't know say you dey crazy?
If you are
also order. This meeting is very important for our advancement as a community, especially as a community engaged in the production of cassava, sorghum, and cocoa. Look, let me start by saying that my boss has directed that all products produced in this village must be done with best international practices. And this is called standardization. Standardization.
Babu, how? Is this place international community?
Wonders.
Kai shut is my mouth. Wallahi, I talking too much. Tunde, I talking. Even me, I wanting to talk something. I shouting.
Come on. Who made Malam Yaya the class monitor here?
Okay.
Okay.
That is enough. That is enough. As I was saying, the essence is to make our product compete favorably with those produced outside the shore of this village. Shengbomi.
Atibo. But can I ask a question?
Yes, you are very free.
Okay. How do I standardize my agbojedi of which you are a beneficiary?
Okay. Emina, I'll bring a question. Okay. What is the dosage of your agbojedi that can cure dysentery? So for me.
But Egbomi, you will just pour it in a large quantity in a cup, then mix it with water and drink it. That is all.
Sherry, you see now. But if it is white man, their own is not like that. He tells you to take 1 tablet before or after the meal. And the number of times you can take it in a day, he will tell you. Even your cassava flour, there is a way it must be packaged for it to be accepted outside the country.
You see, wallahi, these people are squalling the white people. I get them for plenty. Says,
white people. Let me tell you, even when they are producing their products, they ensure it passes through a process. It must be safe for consumption and well labeled.
Please help me now. Help us. How do we go about it? I too, I want to start exporting my agbojedi and cassava flour.
There's no problem. I will guide you through the process, but you will bear the cost too.
Cost ticket. Chinedu Amaibo, come. I need your support here.
Always support to 1 year. Which is support? I will never support you. When you, this woman, refused to let me taste your soup.
Allah is going to bless you. Mama Ayabo is refusing to give you food. Wallahi, don't give it my support.
God forbid. God forbid.
Why will you talk like that?
You is not given food to chop. You want to collect support. You don't know that no food, no support.
You see? Okay, in Yenongpeni, one good turn deserves another.
Just hear one good is it deserves.
NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
If you're just tuning in, the program is NAFDAC and Your Health. And today we are looking at the workings of post-marketing surveillance of NAFDAC. Do join the conversation. Reach us through SMS or WhatsApp. The number is 0812-541-9549. The number again is 0812-541-9549. Please don't call us, just send your message with your name and location. Thank you very much. All right, let's welcome our guests. He is the Director of Pharmacovigilance and Post-Market Surveillance of NAFDAC. Mr. Ali Ibrahim, thank you so much for joining us on NAFDAC and Your Health.
Thank you so much.
So let's take you back to your stakeholders meeting in Lagos. At that event, you told the gathering that post-marketing surveillance essentially involves 3 things. You talked about the safety, the quality, and wholesomeness of the products. Now, kindly tell us or take us through these 3 concepts as regards to post-marketing surveillance.
The DG NAFDAC decided to meet with the stakeholders in the industry and consumers. She targeted a date with the DG NAFDAC. And during that meeting, directors of the various directorates, including Pharmacovigilance and Post-Marketing Surveillance Directorate, were invited to be part of the meeting to interact with stakeholders. And the issue that came on board during that time was the aspect of what we call post-marketing surveillance. And in post-marketing surveillance, what essentially it involves is that NAFDAC register a product, and the consideration before a product is registered is the quality of the product, the safety of the product, and then the wholesomeness when it comes to food. And then the third one is the efficacy when you talk about drug. So quality simply means that the time a product is registered, there are certain characteristics that are considered to ensure that it meets the expectation of the customers, that is the consumers of that product. And having met that characteristics, NAFDAC register the product. And what it means then is that the manufacturer should keep to that specification in terms of quality. Like if you are talking about a drug product, for instance, there's what we call the active pharmaceutical ingredient. That is the thing that is used to cure the sickness or cure the microorganism causing the disease. And in most cases, depending on the official document you are referring to, it can be between 90% and 110% of the active ingredient. What it means is that when the product is placed on the market, NAFDAC assesses it and it conforms. Now, when the product has been registered now, it means that any subsequent batch or pack of that particular product that is offered should comply with those things. Now, what we've seen in some instances is that after a product is registered, some of the people or the company that the product is registered for start varying this quality standard. So in post-marketing surveillance, what we'll do is that we'll monitor this product, take them randomly, sample them, and test them. And anytime we find that it's below the quality specification, then we'll apply some regulatory measures to make sure that it serves as deterrent. Now, when you're talking about safety, the essence of any regulated product that is going to be placed on the market for consumer is that it must be safe. It must not cause any injury to the consumer. And that means that there should be proper evaluation of the ingredient that make up that product. And in as much as the product is no longer safe, in that case, we are saying that the risk of that product is higher than the benefit. And in such situation, NAFDAC take measures to make sure that those products are not on the market. One of the things that will make the product unsafe, for instance, is that there are certain classes of ingredients that a particular group of people are not supposed to use. For instance, if somebody is diabetic, for instance, that is, he has diabetes, he's not supposed to take maybe soft drinks that contains sugar. So in such situation, there's what we call non-nutritive sweetener that you can use to prepare their own classes of drinks that they will take. But if this product is now registered, for instance, and then the person that registered now want to alter that non-nutritive sweetener and replace it with sugar, it becomes unsafe for the diabetics. And when NAFDAC finds that, we apply serious regulatory measure. And that is the one we're saying that a product is not safe for that particular group of people. Now, when we're talking about wholesomeness, you talk about food, and you're saying that the food should be wholesome. Now, wholesome in the sense that the ingredients that are listed on the product will be useful to the consumer. Also, it's not supposed to contain any impurity or anything that will endanger the life of the people. Take, for instance, like packaged water. Packaged water, during the process of production and then certification, will make sure that heavy metals like mercury, arsenic are not there, because those are very injurious to people. But in some cases, depending on where the things are being produced, some of these impurities can be there. So when those impurities that can endanger human health are there, it's no longer wholesome. Then with respect to what we call efficacy. Efficacy deals with medicine. That medicine is supposed to be effective to do the work it's supposed to do. And the moment it cannot do that, we say that the medicine is ineffective. So for regulated products, the major characteristics that are being considered are quality, safety, wholesomeness when it's food, and then efficacy when it's drug product.
All right, but how often do you go to some of these establishments to evaluate that these three things you have explained to us are complied with?
From the regulatory point of view, what you try to do and document is the level of compliance of the industry that produces this product. And when you go for your first time, you do a comprehensive assessment. And when the conditions are met, the product is registered. And the company is giving marketing authorization to market the product. There's what we call the production system. You look at the location of the facility. You look at the personnel involved. You look at the necessary document like the standard operating procedure for production, the standard operation procedure for cleaning of the facilities, the level of knowledge of the people that are involved in manufacturing, the level of knowledge and experience and skill and competence of the production manager, then the level of knowledge and skill of production of the quality control manager, and then there's the one we call the quality assurance team that make up the people that assess when a product is produced and evaluate that the processes, system, machine, everything that is used for those equipment are best to bring out a product of intended quality to satisfy the needs of the consumer. Now, the ultimate aim of anybody or any regulator or any manufacturer is to make sure that you satisfy the need of your customers. And the customer in this sense are the consumer, which include me and you. And in a situation whereby you cannot meet the need or the taste or the desire of your customer, you discover that ultimately one of the things that you need to look at is, what is wrong with my product? Is there any quality defect? And in some instances, there are systems and processes for detecting this. But sometimes, if the quality defects are detected within the production environment or within the facility, they take measures to make sure that they correct it. However, there are certain times that this thing, not with the knowledge of the people, there are minor defects that escape there. So some of the issues that trigger some of these things that you see consumer complaining either about the quality of the product. And in that case, the producer of that product should have a system for receiving the consumer complaint, for evaluating it and find out what the major defect is. Sometimes the consumer can come to NAFDAC and also complain, where NAFDAC will do the investigation and make sure that necessary steps are taken to make sure that such thing doesn't occur again. So the system of production and the personnel involved, and then the storage practices, the handling practices, the transportation practices are some of the things that you consider that should be put in place before a product is licensed to be placed on the market. However, after the product is now licensed to be placed on the market, the marketing authorization holder or the manufacturer of that product has to ensure that the quality system is maintained and improved upon, so that whatever the consumer is expecting of that product doesn't fall below standard. And anytime this thing fall below standard, definitely you start getting complaint either from the consumer or during the visit by officials of the regulatory body like NAFDAC. Some of those defects are detected. And once they are detected, the consumer, depending on the severity of the defects, the manufacturer can be asked to suspend production, pending when those things are corrected. Sometimes, if you affect the quality of a particular batch of a product, those batches can be recalled with the directive from the regulatory body like NAFDAC. And when they are recalled, the recall is to ensure that consumers are not exposed to hazard. If there's a fruit drink, for instance, that contains disease-causing microorganism like E. coli, it's not even one unit is not even supposed to be in such product, because once it's taken, it causes a lot of disease conditions. So during test, if a national regulatory authority detects that there's such contamination, the whole batch of that product can be withdrawn and destroyed. And the destruction is in such a way that it's not the manufacturer that sit down and decide I'm going to destroy. There should be presence of the regulatory authority to witness that destruction. And there's a system and procedure for the destruction in such a way that it should be very transparent and it will be in the interest of the consumer.
Okay, now, while you were explaining, you mentioned efficacy. Now, at what point do you say a medicine is efficacious? Is it during the clinical trial or when the drug is already being used by the people?
Essentially, before a new drug product is registered, it should undergo what we call clinical trial. And during clinical trial, they are in various stages. You have the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. And what is paramount at this stage is to make sure that some group of human beings, especially starting from the healthy human being, are used to make sure that this drug is safe and is not toxic. On the basis of that, you evaluate the safety of the medicine. Then after doing that, the drug is meant to cure a particular disease. And during trial in animals and all those things, it should have been shown to be promising that that drug is effective. So the second stage after establishing the safety is to make sure that you've tested this particular candidate on people who have that disease condition. And then when they are tested on that disease condition, it's expected that that drug should be able to cure the disease condition, because it will be promising when it's tried on animals like rats and all those things. And in a situation where we are talking about efficacy, it means that if that product, the dose of which has been established, is used at that particular dose, it should be able to cure that disease condition. So in that case, you say that the drug is effective in curing that disease condition. And in that case, the efficacy has been established. And if you look at issues like new medicines that come on board, some have been tried, they are good in animal, but when it comes to human being, they are not good. So that is why it's very, very expensive to put new medicines on the market.
So what happens, assuming the accurate dosage has been used and the patient follows prescribed guidelines, yet the medication could not cure the disease? Can we still say the drug is effective at that point?
Some of the things that one needs to consider in taking the medicine and trying to establish whether the drug is effective or not is the aspect that we call about compliance, patient compliance, and then rational use of medicine. For instance, what it means that the rational use of medicine, what it simply means that the right drug and right dose prescribed for the right disease condition and for the right patient, and then it's used according to instruction. Now, in our own setting, some of the things that might affect the efficacy of the drug is the rational use of the medicine. There are certain drugs that you are not supposed to use except you are tested and it's established that you have that disease conditions and you use it according to the prescription by the prescriber, in this case, physician. But we've seen in our own setting that anybody you get up and say, okay, I have this disease condition, no consultation, you start using some antibiotics. And some of these things are used at doses that are not right. And then the right medicine is not used for the right condition. And that gives rise to a situation we call drug resistance. Then the microorganism that is causing this sickness become exposed to sublethal doses of the drug, or they are used for 1 or 2 days and then it stops. And then they become resistant to that kind of drug. In that case, you will discover that the drug is a good quality, but it cannot cure the disease condition. So development of resistance by microorganisms is one of the factors that can affect the efficacy of medicine. And that is why it's necessary for any person that is going to use new drugs like antibiotics to undergo necessary tests and being seen by a qualified physician. The drug will be prescribed and the drug will be dispensed by a qualified person like pharmacists who know the knowledge about medicine and will be properly guided. And what I mean by properly guided is that we've seen a situation in a certain that antibiotics, for instance, that is drug that is used to treat infections by microorganisms, is prescribed for a patient, and the patient is asked to go and take this medicine 4 times in a day. Now, because it's not properly guided and is ignorant, he believes that his own 4 times in the day is to take 1 tablet in the morning, 1 afternoon, 1 evening, and 1 in the night before he sleeps. But what it simply means that if one is asked to take the medicine 4 times in the day, is that if the person is able to wake up by 6 and take the medicine by 6 a.m., it means by 12 noon, he will take another one. By 6 p.m. in the evening, he has to take another one. And then by 12 midnight, he's supposed to take another one. That means the drug is supposed to be taken every 6 hours. But in situations where people are not knowledgeable, they take this drug that's supposed to be taken every 6 hours. All the doses are taken between morning and the night, which is over 12 hours. So in the daytime, you see the concentration of medicine in the blood. The drug works. But in the night, between 6 and 6 in the morning, because the drug is not spread over that period, there won't be enough concentration of the medicine in the blood during that time. So during the daytime, the blood is loaded. In the night, there's no drug in the distance. So that is why we're thinking that any person that wants to take a particular medicine should be properly counseled by a qualified pharmacist who have good knowledge about medicines, tell him about the medicine he's supposed to take along with that drug, the food is not supposed to take along with the drug, and you discover that when all these instructions are followed, then the medicine will work optimally. You'll be able to cure the disease condition and the person will obtain a good treatment outcome, and everybody will be happy for it.
So much still to talk about, but for time, we must call it a day today, and we hope Mr. Ali would be back to continue on this very important topic, post-marketing surveillance of registered products. Mr. Ali Ibrahim, we thank you so much for being on the program today.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Abeg, I wan buy ACT anti-malaria medicine with antibiotics.
Okay, now then be this.
Thank you. How much I go give you?
Before you give her money, you don't check whether that medicine a better one or been a fake. Abi you never hear of mobile authentication service MAS?
Sure. So we see local trouble. What it concern medicine with MAS?
See, make I tell you. Now NAFDAC carry this mobile authentication service MAS come to take protect us from fake medicine them. Shebi you they see that shine where they that medicine be like recharge card also.
Okay.
Take your hand scratcher. What do you see?
Like 10-digit numbers.
Oh, yeah, send those numbers go the phone number where they the carton. Now free.
Okay. They don't reply. They send me okay.
That one means say the medicine a better one. Now you fit give her money. Anytime where you want buy anti-malaria or antibiotic medicine, make sure say na the one where MAS get hand inside. Check, see the 10 numbers where they there. Then follow the steps to take sure say the medicine where you dey drink now ogbonge one. Now, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, bring on this message.
And that is our package for today. We thank you for listening. If you have any question, comment, or you want to know more about the workings of NAFDAC, please reach us through SMS or WhatsApp. The number is 0812-541-9549. The number again, 0812-541-9549. Please don't call us, just send your message with your name and location. You can equally visit the NAFDAC website on www.nafdac.gov.ng. You will also find information about the agency there. If you want to listen to this program again, visit www.gadopress.com. That's www.gadopress.com. Thank you very much. This program is a production of Gado Agency Limited under the sponsorship of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. Many thanks to the drama crew. The producer is Godwin Odemije. Join us same time next week for another interesting edition. My name is Harriet Parkinson. Do take care of yourself. Have a good evening.